in the history po, malaki po yung naging collection. We in the past for the past 20 years, ngayon lang po na-attain noong 2024 na-attain ng BIR ang collection target set by DBCC. At yan po ay resulta ng ating magandang pangongolekta ng buwis. And also we were likewise recognized by different several agencies like yung pong civil service na we were given a plaque of recognition for outstanding performance in complaints resolution and compliance in 2024 and 2025. We were also given a plaque of recognition by the Careers Executive Service Board for attaining 100% efficient and effective management of our agency. At yung aming pong resolution rate ng mga complaints, 888, 100% resolution rate. At pinapakita lang po natin na nung panahon po natin ay we take all these complaints seriously and we always act on all these complaints. And all of these complaints, again, as patunay po na inaaksyonan po natin ang naging decisions po at resolutions and formal charges na naitala po nung panahon ko po ay mahigit 132 cases, including mga nagsagawa rin po tayo ng mga entrapment. Meron po tayong pinakulong ng mga BIR employees. Patunay po na inaaksyonan po natin lahat ng mga willing magsumbong po sa atin ay pinapanagot po natin. So again, with all these, makakaasa po kayo, kaisa niyo po ako nung na i-recognize ito, and I will really do my best and will help this committee shed light on all of these issues, and hopefully this will be solved because it really needs resolving. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioner Kim Inares.
I don't have an opening statement.
Bigyan nyo na kami ng yung sinabi kong walkthrough sa process.
No,
Paano ba halimbawang nakakita tayo na target tayo ng isang taxpayer? Wag na muna yung voluntary, ano? Meron tayo targeted. Paano tayo nagsisimula at paano tayo tatapos?
Yeah. I just want to make clear, no, the letter of authority is important for enforcement, no. Although 98% of the collection of BIR is voluntary and only 2% is from all these assessment, that letter of authority push behavior of compliance, no. So yun hindi pwedeng mawala yung takot. Kasi marami hong hindi nagbabayad, no? Meron study na we have not collected more than 1 trillion pesos, no, from tax evasion and all those things. No? So the letter of authority is important. I can only discuss the process during my time because they have changed it.
Nevertheless, so we can also compare how it evolved, ano, over time.
Yeah, during my time, the first thing I did is I removed TVNs. Yung tax verification.
Meron kaming glossary of terms na very confusing. NOD, PAN, FAN, FDDA, FLD, so many terms. So baka pwedeng isama nyo na sa enlightenment namin yan.
Before, the BIR investigate using 2 instruments, no? Actually 3. A letter of notice, which is when we compare, di ba, may BOT system tayo. So yung mga taxpayer, binibigay ho yung mga data, so kino-compare namin yung purchases, sales ng bawat taxpayer. Kung may discrepancy, sinusulatan namin, sinasabihan namin sila, no contact audit ito, no? Hindi namin sa pinupuntahan, sinusulatan lang namin na parang may diferensya ho yung nire-report nyo. Pwede ba explain nyo o kaya i-support nyo? So yun ho yung letter notice. Pangalawa, letter of authority. Yan ho yung issue na pinag-uusapan ngayon. No? Yun yung LOA. No? So yan ho, kung walang LOA, walang letter of authority, hindi ho pwedeng pumunta yung tao ng BIR dun sa taxpayer at hindi niya pwedeng buksan yung mga libro ng taxpayer. So importante yung letter of authority kasi yan yun. But parang sa police, kung wala kang search warrant, wala kang warrant of arrest, hindi ka pwedeng pumunta dun sa tao. So kailangan mo ng letter of authority. Yung mission order naman ho, MO, yung initial na MO, usually this is issued because you want to do surveillance. No? So, meron kang suspecha na hindi ho siya nag-i-issue ng resibo, hindi niya nire-report lahat. So, magbibigay ka ngayon ng mission order, pwede mong tayuan sa tabi yung kahera. No? So, bawat transaction, yung BIR naglilista.
Anong basic difference ng LOA sa commission order?
Yung mission order is gusto mong
Specific.
malaman. Yeah, you're physically there looking at the transaction. No? There, when the customer comes in, bale, may kahera, nandito yung BIR na tao. So, namo-monitor niya, kung gagawin niya ng 3 days, so di makikita niya lahat na 3-day transaction, i-compare niya dun sa manire-report. So kung ni-report niya sa 3-day, kakatayo niya doon is 100 million yun pumasok. Tapos tinignan niya yung nire-report niya, 10 million lang. Bakit ganyan? No? So yan yung mission order. Tsaka
Mr. Chairman, sino nag-i-issue ng mission order?
RDO at saka regional director ho ang nag-i-issue ng mission order. Hindi naman ho yan ang commissioner.
Regional. So, hindi commissioner, di ba?
Hindi.
Yung regional or
Or RDO, Revenue District Officer.
revenue district.
Tapos may dati may TVN, Tax Verification Notice. Ito ho, ini-issue rin ho dati ng RDO lang, no? So parang pwede rin itong instrument to audit. So during my time kasi meron kaming letter of LAM meron kaming system, kung mag-i-issue ho yung regional director and RDO ng letter of authority, papasok sila ho sa sistema na sasabihin niya mag-i-issue niya sa letter of authority. Tapos from there, yun ho mag-print out nun papel. Yung papel na accountable form. No? At saka yung sistema na yan, i-input mo yan doon kung sino yung examiner na mag-o-audit. Tapos lalagay mo rin doon ano yung resulta ng PAN, Preliminary Assessment Notice. Ano yung resulta ng FAN, Final Assessment Notice. Tapos kung settlement, ano yung settlement? 0605 yun, no? Yung form ng BIR 0605, that's the payment. So all of that, you will put in that system. So yun ho, yung pag-monitor ho ng national office sa field, sa lahat na nag-i-issue ng letter of authority. Dahil may sistema ng ganon, wala sa TVN, tinanggal ko ho yung TVN para isa na lang letter of authority, no? Para namo-monitor ng office ko, no? ng commissioner's office. So yun ho yung proseso ng pag-o-audit. Saka isa rin hong dapat hong monitorin, di ba? Ang problema kasi ngayon, yung LN, yung letter notice na no contact audit, sinabi ho ng Supreme Court na hindi ho pwedeng mag-assess dahil from LN. Kailangan lang letter of authority. Kaya siguro napapansin nyo sa isang taon, 4 na LOA ang nai-issue kasi yung dating LN, ini-issuean nila ng letter of authority. No? So, nagbabat return kayo every quarter. So, 4 na quarter yan. So, letter of authority mo, 4.
Wala bang limitation ng pag-issue ng LOA to a particular individual or entity?
No, during my time, I issued a audit plan, no? And in it, there's a specific provision that said you can only audit a taxpayer 2 consecutive years. Kung kung gusto mo siya i-audit ng 3rd year, kailangan sabihin mo na may fraud. May discrepancy ng malaki, no? Tsaka yung assessment mo malaki. Kasi kung hindi malaki, tatanungin ka, bakit yan ang pinili nyo? Ang dami-daming ibang taxpayer. Bakit siya ulit? Ang liit naman yung kinokolekta nyo. So in 2015, I issued an audit program where there's a specific provision that you cannot audit a person 3rd consecutive time, except if you can say there's fraud. Kasi we allow the 2nd
In 1 year? Oh, let's say in 1 year. How many times can
There's no limit in no, kasi ang nangyayari ko sa kanila ngayon, mag-issue sila ng first quarter VAT letter of authority, second quarter letter of authority for VAT, third quarter letter of authority for VAT, fourth quarter VAT letter of authority. Tapos nun, yun mga hindi, tapos may fifth, yun year na yan,
Oh.
all other taxes na letter of authority. So, pag binilang mo yan, 5 na yan. Diba?
In 1
Some-
year?
Yeah,
Oh.
pwedeng 5 in 1 year dahil doon sa sistema na yan. Kasi nga, sabi ng...
5 in 1 year para sa isang taxpayer
Yeah,
lang.
pwedeng 5 in 1 year, the way
Diba?
it is done now.
Diba? Parang feeling haras na yung individual.
Yeah.
O yung,
So, kasi dati, nagle-letter notice lang ho kami na sinasabihan lang namin yung taxpayer, alam nyo, may ni-report kayong purchase. Pero yung sinabihan nyo na binilahan nyo, hindi naman nagre-report ng sales. So, explain nyo nga bakit ganyan. No contact audit yan. Kaya lang, the Supreme Court said you cannot do that. I think one of the legislative reform that should be done, because we're all pushing toward digitalization, and globally, it is the move is also to non-contact audit. So
related question, how is a LOA served at saka where is it served?
it is served in the place of business of the taxpayer.
Not in any other place.
Yeah, not
Eh, yung
in
iba
any-
kasi sa mall eh. Sa mall, sa restaurant. Kung saan magsalubong, doon na lang ini-issue. Pwede ba yun?
Dapat it's in the place,
Dapat in
of,
the place
business,
of business.
where he said his place of business.
So outright, kung sinerve ito sa mall, nakipag-meet sa mall, nakipag-meet sa restaurant, may violation.
Yeah, because that you are supposed to serve
Subject
it
to
in the place
administrative-
of business.
Subject to administrative sanction. Kagad.
It can be, yeah, because you're not serving it properly.
Yeah.
Because if you go to the place of business at wala naman yung boss, pwede mo naman iwan dun sa manager. Diba? So,
But that
yun,
makes it suspicious, ano? Bakit sa mall magkikita?
at saka kung hindi nyo siya makikita sa place of business, paano nyo siya nakita sa mall?
Eh, kung ayaw tanggapin.
Ha?
You're bringing it to the place of business. Ayaw tanggapin.
Then you do an affidavit that I served it and they did not want to accept it. So there's deemed service. You know, there's a way. Pero yung sa
Segue lang
mall,
sandali kay Commissioner Lumagi. Mali pala yung nagawa niyo, dito niyo naserbihan si Diskaya ng LOA.
Well, Mr. Chair, first of all, kung pwede lang po i-clarify lang po yung na-mention kanina na 4 na LOA per quarter, valid for a year. Hindi po ganun ang ginagawa, 2 lang po ang maximum for VAT because ang batas namin semestral po. So, a maximum of 2 and then for large taxpayers, 1 lang po yan sa 1 taon ang VAT audit. So, wala pong 4 po ang VAT na LOAs na nangyayari po.
So
Mr.
yun na
Chair.
yung evolution, ano? During the time of Commissioner Kim, hanggang 5 po pwede. So nag-evolve
Kasi po
ito
ang
during...
pagkakasabi po
hindi
ngayon.
ho kami nag-issue ng 5. We're
Narinig
not,
ko kanina, parang umabot ng 5 eh.
hindi, sabi ko, pwedeng umabot sa 5 ngayon dahil doon ho sa ruling ng Supreme Court. Kasi every quarter nagpa-file kayo ng VAT return, tapos every quarter nag-encode kayo ng summary release of sales and purchases.
So why did you limit it to 2 in a year?
Dahil dyan po rin nag-consolidate semestral. So, twice a year lang po talaga ang VAT. Hindi po tayo nag-i-issue ng
As
4.
maximum 2. lang.
For VAT po, Mr. Chair. Yung sa regular, kasi po ang setup po kasi may regular yung Revenue District Office, sila po yung nag-i-issue ng authorized to issue LOAs for all internal revenue taxes. But meron po tayong na-create, I think, that was during because of the IMF recommendation and nagtayo po ng VAT audit section for regions dahil sinasabi po malaki ang VAT gap natin na kinakailangan ayusin para makakolekta ng VAT because at that time relatively new yung concept ng VAT Kaya nag-create ng VAT audit section or VAT audit unit na tututok sa particular tax type ng VAT. That's why nag-create ng VAT section. So ang ino-audit po ng VAT audit section ay mga VAT, yung value-added tax types lang po.
Ito na yung BATAS at saka BATAW.
Yan po. So, kaya nagkakaroon po ng ibang multiple LOAs pero magkakaiba po ang ino-audit. For Revenue District Office, yung regular, all other internal revenue taxes, kapag ka nag-issue po ang VAT audit section, VAT lang po ang ino-audit niyan. Kaya po yan yung dinidiscuss po na multiple LOAs dahil may all internal tapos meron sa VAT po.
Mr. Chair, may I?
Hindi, just to clarify, kasi pwede naman kung hindi mo matagpuan, ano, like for example, you iniiwasan kayo ni Diskaya, pero dito na-serve mo yung LOA sa kanya.
Kasi may hearing.
May hearing eh.
Yes, Mr. Chair. Nakalagay lang naman po kasi dyan, again, as I've mentioned before, yung mga diskaya po ay hindi po talaga nila tinatanggap. In fact, we also filed the criminal case for violation of subpoena dahil hindi po talaga sila tumatanggap ng mga notices ever since when we started auditing them even last year. Dahil lahat po niyan, hinahabol po natin at nakita po natin na malaki po yung kanilang tax liabilities. That's why we were forced to serve the LOA with the permission of this office.
Mr. Chair, few
Yes,
please.
yes, for the record, I allowed it.
Your request.
Mr. Chair, ang problema ko kasi dito, former Commissioner Lumagi, and this committee, ito pong iba't ibang LOA, may VAT, may tax, iba-ibang tao ho ito Mr. Chair. Ang problema, yung negosyante, bugbog po sa kalalagay. Kasi iba-ibang tao. I-issue ng VAT dito, bukas makalawa, next month, isang VAT na naman, ibang tao na naman. Gaya po nito, nag-email sa atin, in a span of 6 months, we were issued 4 separate letters of authority with 3 audits still ongoing. These laws overlap in periods and tax types, causing excessive disruption to our operation. And at the same time daw, Mr. Chair, yung mga bumibisita sa kanila, kailangan pa nilang kasi para bilisan nila yung kanilang pag-audit dun sa kumpanya na yun dahil nare-disrupt yung kanilang operations, kailangan nilang maglagay ng padulas, Mr. Chair. Ito po yung problema natin, Attorney Lumagi. Yung panahon po ninyo talagang dumami po talaga. Maaring may instruction kayo na 2 lang, inabuso naman po dito sa baba. Kung hindi po LOA mission order because mission orders pwede lang gawin ng RD at saka RDO without your knowledge. Hindi na po sila kailangan magpaalam sa inyo. Tama po, hindi. Is this correct?
Tama po, Mr. Chair.
You see? Doon po naaabuso. Yung ibang tao, ang tingin na po nila, LOA pa rin, pero mission order na ini-issue ng mga RDO, ng mga RDs po ninyo without your knowledge. Inabuso po nila. Kaya minsan, 4, 5, 6, kayo, instruction nyo, 2 lang. Sige. Pero when they issue MOs, iba pa ho yun Yun ang nagiging problema, naabuso po ng panahon ninyo. Wala po kayong safety net to protect the businesses. Tama naman po, we agree. Kailangan po ng LOA para makakolekt tayo ng taxes. Unfortunately, paano naman po yung proteksyon ng negosyante from extortion? Wala po silang proteksyon. Kayo po doon sa taas niyo alam dito sa middle management po, doon nangyayari yung nakawan, Mr. Attorney Lumagi. And let me direct Mr. Chair, if you would please, direct my question to Secretary Federico. Secretary, in my research po, we found out na 2% lang po ng taxes collected by the BIR ang na-generate ng LOA. Tama po ba ito? And 98% are voluntary po. 98% taxes collected are voluntary po ng mga businesses. Is this correct, Secretary Go?
Mr. Chair, that is correct. Roughly, it's between 2 to 2+%. Of course, it varies from year to year. So perhaps in 1 year, it could be about 2.5%. In 1 year, it could be 2.6%. And yes, Mr. Chair, that is correct, that roughly 98% of the collections are voluntary.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Meron bang time na umabot tayo ng 3? Kasi ang alam kong standard, di ba, 3 to 5%? Yan ang parang internationally accepted standard. Naka-accomplish ba tayo ng 3% man lang?
Mr. Chair, may I?
Yes, please.
During my time, it's more than 3% our collection. And also, maybe just to put things into perspective, ang collection po ng, dahil maliit lang po, actually, ang primary goal po talaga ng enforcement is to keep everyone in check so that if everybody knows that they're being watched, they will voluntarily comply. That's why tumataas po ang voluntary compliance because of this mechanism. And also, again, to put things into perspective, millions po ang business taxpayers. Million po ang business taxpayers, and then more than that, yung mga registered taxpayers, not just the business taxpayers. And ang nai-issuehan po ng LOA ay less than 1% of registered business taxpayers, which result in more than 3% of the total collections. And kung titingnan pa po natin, ang total, ang less than 0.20% ang nai-issuehan ng LOA compared with the total registered taxpayers. Again, less than 0.20% ang nai-issuehan ng LOA. For again, if we compare it with the registered business taxpayers, it's less than 1%, which again results into more than 3% collection for the goal, Mr. Chair.
Mr. Chair, may I direct my question now to the new commissioner? Commissioner Mendoza, ano ho ang way forward natin dito? Kasi pati po mga small businesses, family-owned eatery, restaurant, family-owned na mga grocery store, pinatos pa rin po. I thought LOAs are only for major corporations, medium enterprises. Family-owned, gas station, eatery, grocery store, family-owned, mula Apari hanggang Davao. Ang dami yung nagrereklamo sa amin, punong-puno na. Kung magtatayo lang ako siguro, 1,000 na rin siguro. I suggest, Secretary Go and yourself, magtayo rin po na isumbong kay Secretary o isumbong kay Commissioner. Mapupuno po yung email niyo. But anyway, pwede bang patigilin ho muna ito? I mean, tinigil lang ho, pero pati mga small businesses, kailangan man tamaan nito? Small veterinary clinic sa Quezon City, tinamaan. Halos lahat po eh. Hindi lang po malalaki, you're saying, Attorney Lumagi, pari yung instruction mo yung mga big businesses talagang to force them. Pero yung mga family-owned businesses, mga small businesses, dapat hindi na po. Ano ho ang take nyo rito, Commissioner Mendoza?
Yeah, Mr. Chair, technically ho, legally, wala naman hong limitation as to which type of taxpayers can be subjected to audit. So, regardless whether malaki ka or maliit, if you are perceived to be committing tax evasion or you are not paying the correct taxes, pwede ka po talagang ma-audit. But of course, there has to be prioritization in the conduct of audits, especially considering that we have limited manpower. Moving forward, Mr. Chair, first is there has to be check and balance in the issuance of letters of authority and mission orders. Right now po, when it comes to the issuance of letters of authority by the regional directors, meron po silang absolute authority to issue letters of authority, and hindi na po ito umaakyat sa commissioner for approval or prior clearance. So that is one area that we are looking at. Before the regional directors can issue letters of authority, they would have to clear it first with the deputy commissioner or with the commissioner. Kailangan po mag-submit sila ng justification kung bakit mag-i-issue sila ng letter of authority or why this particular taxpayer should be subjected to audit.
Mr. Chairman, kahit na authorized or hindi authorized, may mga hindi authorized eh, di ba? Okay.
Yeah.
Don't you have an investigative arm?
Meron po.
Hindi to investigate not the taxpayers, the RDs.
Tama.
Yeah, meron po tayong internal affairs service. It's a unit within the BIR.
Sangkaterbang complaint. Di ba? So,
Opo.
what has happened to these persons who have been subject of complaints?
Yeah, meron po tayong internal affairs service that conducts investigation of erring BIR personnel. Ongoing naman po ang investigation nila against BIR personnel that were complained for having allegedly committed malfeasance or misfeasance. Moving forward po, dagdag lang, another, kasi I have this tell the commissioner at bir.gov.ph, I created this less than 2 weeks ago where they can directly send their complaints and concerns and even suggestions in the conduct of audit. And I have received several emails, more than 100 over in less than 2 weeks. So that is one common concern po. One common concern, and it has been mentioned already, is that they receive multiple letters of authority for a particular taxable year. Again po, legally, if it covers, the audit should cover a particular tax type for a particular taxable year. Yun lang naman po ang limitation. And of course, subject to the prescriptive period. You can only audit 3 years. Within 3 years from the time the return is filed or from the time the return was actually filed, unless there is fraud, in which case we have a longer prescriptive period of 10 years counted from the time of the discovery of the fraud. Several concerns that we raised before is that na-audit na raw po for this particular taxable year and then may panibago na namang LOA covering the same taxable year and purportedly, apparently covering the same tax type. Pwede pong mangyari ito kung ang subject ng second audit, kung ang ground ng second audit is fraud. In which case, we have a longer prescriptive period and the prescriptive period runs from the time of the discovery of the fraud. But generally po, a particular LOA should only consider a particular tax type for a particular taxable period. Nangyayari po na nagkakameron ng maraming letters of authority kasi nga po, na-mention ni former Commissioner Jun Lumagi, meron tayong VATAS, VAT Audit Section that conducts audits once every semester. So sa isang taon ho, may 2 letters of authority na sila natatanggap. The creation of VATAS is actually a recommendation of the IMF many years ago dahil nakita po nila na meron nga tayong gap sa collection of taxes. Apparently, hindi tayo ganun ka-efficient. So ang sabi ng IMF, why don't you create a special unit that will conduct only an audit of VATAS? Kaya ho nagkameron of VAT. Kaya ho nagkameron tayo ng VATAS. Ang reklamo lang ho ng mga taxpayers nga, and we are looking into this, is per semester, nakatanggap ka ng LOA for the first semester, may second semester ka na naman ng LOA, and they are not given enough time to reform. Hopefully, ang pakiusap nga nila, may mga natututunan sila dun sa previous audits and they will be given enough time to incorporate this for the succeeding period para hindi na ho sila mo audit. So we're looking at the possibility of totally abolishing the VATAS and have its functions integrated into the regular units like the large taxpayer service. Meron din ho naman silang VAT unit or the regional directors. So instead of the regional directors doing audit only for other types of taxes except VAT, pwede ho nating tanggalin na natin yung VATAS at yung regional directors na ho ay mag-conduct ng audit covering all types of taxes, including VAT. May mga nagsasabi po na mas makakabuti ito kasi nga, una, isa na lang ang haharapin nila sa Bureau of Internal Revenue. And secondly, even if these laws cover different types of taxes, interconnected po yung mga dokumento. Kung ano yung voluminous documents na sinubject mo for that particular law covering this type of tax, isasabit mo uli yun dito kasi konektado ho yun eh. Hindi naman magkakaibang dokumento ang isasabit mo dahil lamang iba yung tax type na ino-audit. So that is another area po. We intend to revisit whether we will continue having the VATAS or simply abolish this and have this integrated into the regular units. And then another one is abolishing the special task forces and have their functions integrated also into the function of the regular unit so that in a particular taxable year, ideally they should also only be receiving 1 letter of authority for a particular taxable year. And then number 3 po is the monitoring. That is why I have directed the creation of a portal where I can monitor near time the status of all pending letters of authority. Right after I issue the order directing the suspension of all field audits, my succeeding order is to submit an inventory of all the status of all pending letters of authority. So nagsasabit po ang mga offices natin ngayon and I have directed the creation of a portal. Well, I can track ano na po ba ang nangyari sa particular LOA na ito, nasa ang stage na ba siya, magkano ba ang actual na nasingil, because it produces the CCTV effect. If the people on the ground knows that the commissioner or the central office is meticulously monitoring the implementation of law, mas naiiwasan po yung abuse of discretion sa pagkakandak ng audit. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. Senator JB. The Chair acknowledges the presence of Senator Bam Aquino. Good morning, sir. Senator JB, by the way, for your information, there are regional directors and RDOs present, ano? So yung mga narrations kanina, kung meron kang specific questions na you want to address to these people, they are here in the session hall. Senator JB?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. First of all, I'd like to thank our newly installed DOF Secretary and BAR Commissioner for suspending the issuance of LOAs. No? My question to the new BIR Commissioner, now that bago lang po kayo ngayon, pero ano po yung safeguards that you are looking at and reforms that you want to institute so that itong LOA will not be weaponized anymore for extortion and abuse?
Yes, Mr. Chair. Yun nga po, after we have issued the directive suspending the issuance of letters of authority and mission orders and the conduct of and the continuation of pending field audits, we have directed the creation of a technical working group composed of senior officials of the Bureau of Internal Revenue to look at the existing processes and protocols and come up with more streamlined, predictable, and transparent system for the conduct of field audits. We have also directed directed all units, concerned units of the Bureau of Internal Revenue to submit an inventory of all pending letters of authority. So we will know where exactly these letters of authority are now and what their respective status are. As I have mentioned po a while ago, one area of reform that we are looking at is there has to be check and balance in the issuance of letters of authority. Yun nga po, right now, the regional directors have the absolute discretion to issue letters of authority. Absolute discretion in the sense that it is no longer subject to the approval of the commissioner. So moving forward, what I intend to do is before they can recommend the issuance of a letter of authority, but has to be cleared first by the office of the commissioner or by the deputy commissioner. They should provide justification on why they want to audit this particular taxpayer, what are the initial findings, and what is the basis legally and factually for the issuance of the letter of authority. And secondly, to as much as possible, limit the number of letters of authority that are being received by our taxpayers. Not that we will no longer audit them for this particular type of tax, but to integrate it with the regular units of the Bureau of Internal Revenue. So kaya nga po, ngayon po kasi marami silang natatanggap na letters of authority because marami po tayong units na nakakapag-issue ng letters of authority. May VATAS tayo, meron pa tayong regional offices that can issue all other internal revenue taxes. Meron tayong special task forces that can conduct audit when there is fraud. Meron pa tayong National Investigation Division or the Regional Investigation Division that can also conduct audit when there is fraud. So we will streamline this point as much as possible, limit the number of letters of authority that a particular taxpayer can will be audited on. And then number 3 po is yun nga po, I have directed the creation of a portal and we're working on it now where I can monitor near time the status of all ongoing letters of authority. Actually, meron tayong sistema, yung ELAMs where they're supposed to update the status of their letters of authority. But hindi ho masyadong updated yon. Kaya nagpa-submit tayo ng inventory sa lahat ng ating mga revenue district offices and regional directors and the units in the central office to submit an inventory of their pending audits.
Yeah. Attorney Kim, this is related to the question.
Yeah, to his answer.
Yes, please. With the permission of Senator JB, Attorney Kim.
Yeah, the ELAM system, and which was converted into because there's a computerization going on. You cannot issue a letter of authority if you don't go into that system. Eh? There's an accountable form. It's even pre-numbered. So if you cannot see it in the ELAM, then that letter of authority is void because it's issue issued without authority. Kung yan sa LAM system, yung monitoring. Kasi yan yung nag-i-issue ng letter of authority. Ngayon, kung hindi mo makita dyan sa system na yan, ibig sabihin, hindi tunay yung letter of authority na yan. So, mali yung what inventory? Di ba? It's there. If it's not there, then it's void. Because it
If
was,
it's not there, then it's not there.
it's, because it's,
Wala, hindi valid, hindi valid.
yeah, because it's how you generate the letter of authority.
So how do you check that?
Yeah.
Madali
I
lang,
mean,
di ba?
It's if this is the system and these are it's a parang certificate eh. In fact, naka-accountable form yan, may number yan eh. Naka-match yan dun sa pag-issue ng letter of authority. Now, my suggestion rin about the small business, you know, the tax code said if you have business to generate 3 million and below, you can go under the 8% taxation. Wala nang VAT, wala nang any other taxes except yung withholding, no? Kasi yung mga tax ng empleyado. I think the BIR and DOF should have a campaign for the small businesses that if you're 3 million and below, you just pay the 8%. Then there's no more VAT. It's all inclusive na ho yung 8% na yan. It's in the National Internal Revenue
Iba
Code.
pa to doon sa 60%, yung 40%?
Yan yung optional standard
Optional.
deduction is available to everyone. No? The optional standard deduction is available to everyone. You can take a 40%, no itemization, you can take a 40% at once. But if you do an output and input, you still have to file and pay, and you will still be audited. You can be not audited only if you have an optional standard deduction and you pay the full VAT without any input VAT. Then you should be the last priority. Diba? Kasi binabayaran nyo sa income nyo bawat centavos yung tax nyo tsaka yung 12% VAT. No? So yun, I think the thing there is you have to have an audit program because whatever you put in the computer, AI na ngayon eh. So kung magre-request ka, yung lahat na data naman nasa BIR eh. So magre-request ka, kung talagang you have true digitalization, pag nag-request ka, yung sistema na ngayon ang magtatanong, ito yung parameter ng pwede nyong i-audit. So itong mga data ng taxpayer, mag-fit ba siya doon? Kung mag-fit siya, na pwede mong i-audit, saka siya mag-i-issue ng letter of authority. So, pwede naman yan gawin. Saka my other comment about BATA, the reason why assessment is so, if you look at the assessment issued by the BIR, yun sa preliminary assessment, saka final assessment, you'll notice, it's cut and paste. The taxpayer, after they protest, di ba, may preliminary assessment notice kayo, yung taxpayer nagpro-protest, hindi ine-evaluate ng BIR eh. Pag tinignan mo yung final assessment notice, eksakto kung ano yung nasa preliminary assessment notice, yan yung lumalabas sa final assessment notice. Bakit? Kasi yung assessment division na dapat nag-evaluate ng mga preliminary assessment at final assessment notice, ngayon nag-audit na rin sila. So dapat nun tanggalin yung audit function ng nagre-review ng audit para matutukan nila yung audit na ginagawa ng mga examiner. Yun yung problema ngayon ng BIR.
Thank you. Back to Senator JB.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Siguro nakarating naman po sa ating pong mga BIR Commissioner, ito pong scheme, no, that Senator Tulfo ay enumerated, no, yung pong halimbawa po sa 1 million na assessment, 200,000 lang po yung nagiging resibo. Minsan 300,000, minsan 200,000. So talagang 70% yung nadadakma, 30% lang mapasok. So how can the bureau now?
Senator JB, anong area yan? Para tanungin natin yung RDO na nandito. Kung kung sakop niya yung area. Yung particular case na binanggit mo kanina.
So, dahil po, sa Bulacan po ata, Mr. Chair. Probably
Andito
can
ba
ask
yung
the-
Bulacan?
Opo.
Regional Director or RDO? Anong part ng Bulacan yan? Meron bang Bulacan dito? Wala. Anyway, sige. Please continue, Senator Jed.
O, yun lang po.
Ha? May Bulacan ba rito? Bulacan na naman.
With regard to
Sa
the
ID, Kamanaba and Bulacan eh. Oh.
magandang hapon po, sir. Magandang hapon po sa ating lahat po. Actually ho, with regard to RR5, it composed of Caloocan, Malabon, Nabotas, and Bulacan area po. With regard po to sa amin, ang covered lang po namin, sir, is the value-added tax po. Opo. Opo. So with regard to Bulacan area is I think 25B po or 25B, which is covered by different RDOs po.
Senator JB, mostly NCR pala itong nandito. Kasi I believe there are 6 regional directors sa NCR, hindi ba? So, if you may direct your question, kung meron kang case dyan na NCR, ang area.
Meron po dito, Mr. Chair, yung tungkol sa Manila. Assessment po sa 13 million, pero yung gross sales niya po 12 million lang. So, parang mas malaki pa yung assessment doon po sa gross sales ng negosyo. Paano po nangyari yun? Sa Manila po, Mr. Chair.
Kindly identify yourself muna.
I am RDO Trinidad Villamil. I am from Revenue District number 33, Intramuros. Sir, Manila region has 5 other districts. So I am speaking in behalf of my district, but in our district, it's always been my directive to my revenuers, to the examiners, that they have to conduct their audit fairly and accurately, because as our top management have said a while ago, the letter of authority is giving us the right to investigate, to verify whether our taxpayers are paying the correct taxes or they have paid the right amount of taxes. So with regards to that scheme, I do not tolerate or I deny that, but that is subject to verification, sir. But definitely we do not. It is against our policy, and I always tell my people they have to conduct their audit fairly. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Attorney Kim. Senator JB, may mag-interject lang si Attorney
Okay,
Kim.
go ahead po. Go ahead.
Yeah, it can be because of the surcharge and interest. That's why it became so big. No? Depende kung may fraud, saka kung gaano katagal na yung assessment na yan, no, na hindi binabayaran. We're going to the point of how to check whether may kalokohan nangyayari. Siguro pwede niyong i-monitor ano ba yung PAN na amount. Kung yan, 10 million yung PAN, yung preliminary assessment. Tapos 5 million, tapos sa final assessment, 10 million ulit. Tapos pumunta kayo sa 0605, ang binayaran, 10,000. That's already a red flag. May nangyayari dito. Kasi 10 million, tapos naging 10,000, 100,000. Bakit ganon? So, yun ho, yun maaring, yan yung kaso na may nangyari. No? So, kaya importante ho yung pag-monitor. Ano ba yung in-assess mo sa preliminary assessment notice? in-assess mo sa final assessment notice, magkano ba yung binayaran? Kasi pag dramatically different, then there must be something going on. And then the other point, sir, that's precisely my point when I issued the audit program, that you cannot audit a taxpayer 3 consecutive years. Because only, like Commissioner Lumagi said, only 0.2% of taxpayers are being audited. So why are you repeating and repeating and repeating the same? You should have gone to other taxpayer who have not been audited, since you have a big sample or big population where you can choose other, because you want to push compliance. So you're checking on them. The question there is, why are you always repeating the same taxpayer? Especially if you keep on repeating and the amount you're collecting is not significant. So that also points to a fact na may nangyayari, no? So that's why the monitoring of the letter of authority and the result are important. And that's basically what I just wanted to point out. And I think not all recommendation of IMF should be accepted by the BIR, because we are in a different situation, no? Like the BATAG, I think we should not have put it up in the first place. What we should have reformed is do a non-contact audit and correct the Supreme Court decision to allow non-contact audit to taxpayer.
Yes, Senator JB.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, meron din po sa Mandaluyong, if ever nandyan po sana yung taga-RDO, meron kaming kopya rito ng exchange of messages between yung RD ng Mandaluyong tsaka yung taxpayer.
Andito ba yung RD na Mandaluyong?
Pwede mo palagay?
Lahat naman ang hinahanap natin, wala dito. Ito, RDO 41, Mandaluyong. RDO 41. Ito specific, RDO 41, Mandaluyong. Lowa extortion. Asking for 1 million. Asking was 1 million pesos.
Para hindi na daw umabot ng Court of Tax Appeals, Mr. Chair. So parang yan yung nagtatawaran sila sa text message. Baka pwede rin mapaliwanag.
In the next hearing, we'll invite
Sige po.
RDO 41, Mandaluyong. Secretariat, kindly take note. Yes, Attorney Kim.
Is it the RDO or the examiner? So you
RDO nakalagay. RDO 41, Mandaluyong.
No, because it's called the Revenue District Office 41.
Yeah, but we have to identify that
Who
that guy.
is the one who's asking for the 1 million, because
Yeah.
it's not the RD. It might not be the RDO.
But
It
we
might
might be
the
able to identify that examiner through the
Yes.
RDO.
Yeah.
That's why we need to invite.
Group supervisor nilang mga examiner.
I think examiner po ito, Mr. Chair.
Yeah, I know, but under RDO 41.
RDO. Apo, tama.
Yeah. Kasi hindi natin din alam kung sino examiner unless identified natin yung examiner, then probably. Yeah. Is there any more, Senator Jay?
Mr. Chairman, Katik,
Ah,
di alam kung sino.
And I
We will submit to the committee, Mr. Chair. Dito po, identified po actually.
Go ahead, Senator JB. Please proceed. Please continue.
Yun na ba, Mr. Chair, I will just listen to the other, as we go along, I'll ask questions later.
Yeah. Senator JB, Senator Bam Aquino is recognized. Interject ka muna.
RDO 44, Taguig, are you here?
Yes, sir. Good morning.
All right. May we know the status of the case filed against your employees recently arrested for asking 600,000 in exchange for a lower tax assessment? Ito po ba ay isolated o ito po ang kalakaran natin? Ano po
First-
nangyari sa kanila? Na-entrap
first-
po ito ng NBI. Naglakas loob po yung kumpanya na magsumbong.
First of all, good morning po, Mr. Chair, and thank you for inviting me and to the honorable members of the Senate Blue Ribbon Committee. In September po, I was still assigned in Malabon. I only reported for duty yesterday in Taguig, so I really do not have any personal knowledge of what happened. I only heard about it in the news.
Who was the RDO back then?
Si Attorney Deo Villar po,
Nasaan po si Attorney Villar?
nalipat po siya sa Pampanga.
Nasa Pampanga na ngayon.
Opo.
Alright. Kasi ang problema ho natin dito, yung inyong RDO District Office, inassess nitong dalawang kulukoy na ito, yung kumpanya ng 36 million. Nagkaroon ng tawaran na reduce sa 6 million. And finally, 800,000. Tapos, ang bibigyan lang ng official receipt ay 200,000 lang. Paano po ito nangyari? Kaya nga po ito yung sinasabi na useless itong LOA. Kasi pwede palang tawaran, di po ba? From 6 million, 36, bumaba ng 6. Doon pala kagad, lugi na ang gobyerno. Tapos 800,000 na lang. 200,000 lang ay i-resibo, sa kanya na yung 600,000. Talo yung gobyerno ho rito eh. Kaya nga, Mr. Commissioner, we really have to study this, sir. Itong LOA na ito, itong mga mission order, kasi hindi po nagagawa ang trabaho nito. Ginagawa lang po itong gatasan ng mga empleyado. Let's move on. Quezon City, are you here?
Related lang, follow-up lang. Saang level ng authority yung may discretion to resolve kung ano yung pag-uusapan? Sino finally magre-resolve? Alam mo, may LOA. Nasa RDO, pwede na siyang in his own discretion. Sabihin niya, hindi, okay na yan. Commissioner?
Yeah, actually the letter of authority is issued by the regional director in the regions, but it is implemented by the revenue district offices.
Yes, but
Pero
sino yung
examiner
finally na magsasabing pwede yung sinesettle na yan? Sino magre-resolve?
The RDO.
Examiner?
The revenue district officer, Mr. Chair.
Revenue District Officer. So yung examiner, wala sa authority niya yung siya mag-decide na pwede na yan.
The approval is with the revenue.
Approval, yeah. RDO. Thank you, Senator Eric.
Yeah. Mr. Chair, regarding, babalikan ko lang po, it was asked a while ago, yung status po ng case noong
Opo,
empleyado na
yes.
na-interrupt sa Taguig. He is undergoing, an administrative case was filed against them. So it is undergoing investigation, and they were preventively suspended for 90 days. Ongoing po ang formal investigation and hearing sa kaso nila. And malapit na pong mag-render ng decision on that case.
Sino
That is
pong
the case
magde-decide? Ang office po ninyo para kung sila ay tanggalin?
Yes po. Opo. Internal po ito sa Bureau of Internal Revenue, yung admin case po. Although I understand there's also a pending criminal case with the Department of Justice.
Opo. All right, and then I just want to remind po si RDO natin, kayo ho yun, sa Taguig, hindi po ba?
Opo, opo.
You know, sir, transfer reshuffling of personnel, dapat hindi po ito excuse na hindi po ninyo alam. Dahil tao nyo na po ito nangyari po sa inyo, you should know what's happening sa inyo pong district office. Ano po?
Opo.
Hindi po yung sabihin, hindi ko po panahon ho yan.
Hindi po. Kasi
Panahon po naman ba? Yeah, I know.
Opo.
Pero dapat po alam ho ninyo when you take over, ano ho ba problema dito sa district office na ito? Nakakamit ba tayo ng target? Marami ba magnanakaw dito? Marami ba mga manluloko ng negosyante? Moving on. RDO 40 ng Cubao, are you here?
Yes, sir. Good
Kayo po,
morning.
Miss Yolanda Zafra.
Good morning
Okay.
po.
Are you familiar? O nasa posisyon pa ba ito si Crisanto Olazo? Group supervisor po siya. Nandito po ba sa inyo ito?
Your Honor, hindi po siya naka-assign sa RDO 40 Cubao.
Nasaan po siya kaya?
answer, sir. Nag-retire na po siya. Last assignment niya po is sa VAT audit section.
Sa VAT audit section, kailan po siya
Yes, sir.
nag-retire?
October
Nitong October lang.
2025, sir.
Kaya ako natanong, kaya ako natanong, Mr. Chair, may kaso po ito na charge po ito ng 2016 with grave misconduct over allegations of corruption. Ayun po, na-transfer ito from Negros na lumipat po dito sa Metro Manila. So, ang tanong po natin dyan, dito po sa BIR, former Commissioner Lumagi, anong actions po ninyo pag yung mga tao ninyo, namomonitor ba ninyo yung mga ganito, may mga kaso? Karamihan ng empleyado ng BIR, corruption po ang kaso. Buti sana kung murder, rape, kung ano pa dyan. Kaso mo, ang kaso po lagi, corruption. Ano nangyayari? Or, let me ask this question. Let me rephrase this, Commissioner Lumagi. How many employees were charged or were dismissed during your watch sa BIR?
Ano rin po, no, total ng mga na formal charge and including yung mga decisions na execute po, total po niya nasa mga 132. And also, yung pagka po kasi merong mga complaints, we definitely act on it. Ang problema po kasi minsan yung mga ibang nagsusumbong po sa atin ay hindi willing magbigay ng ebidensya at mag-execute ng affidavit, kaya hindi po nauuwi sa formal na cases. Kaya wala rin po kaming magawa dahil ayaw talaga. So, for all those na merong dokumento, katulad po nung na-entrap po dun sa Taguig, ay immediately po naggawa po tayo ng investigation doon, and I immediately issued a preventive suspension order and nag-file po agad tayo ng formal charge a few days after. So ganyan po natin na siniseryoso lahat ng mga complaints, but meron pa rin po tayo yung isang nagsumbong sa bandang Caloocan po na may extortion at willing din magpakita, kaya naman po sinamahan natin siya. Ako mismo nandun at pinakulong po natin yung taong nangingikil. Tapos marami pa po yung ibang empleyado po na namimeke rin ng mga kasabot ng taxpayer sa Pandaraya. Pinahuli rin po natin yon at kinasuhan rin po natin ng kasong kriminal and also administrative cases. So as long as everything is properly documented and willing talagang magsampa ng complaint, ay ina-actionan po natin yan. Kasi nga po, I recognize the problem. Itong sinasabi niyo po, tama naman po yan. Kaya nga, isa yan sa naging focus or attention area nung panahon ko po na sisiryosohin po natin yan at alam po nila, sinasabi ko po yan na kapag kami ginawang kalokohan ay talagang hindi po natin palulusutin.
Ang tanong po natin, itong si Olazo, kare-retire lang ng October, so tatanggap pa po ito ng mga benepisyo? I mean, may kaso po ito noong 2016 ng misconduct over allegations of corruption. So, may matatanggap po siya na pensyon?
Kapag ka po, depende po sa maging resulta kasi po, didesisyonan pa rin naman po yan. Kapag ka napatunayan po na may liability po siya, I think isa po sa mga consequences nun ay yung forfeiture ng kanilang mga benefits.
My last question now is, before I give it to Senator Bam. Attorney Lumagi, is Mrs. Lumagi an employee of the BIR? Attorney Lumagi?
Hindi po, Mr. Chair.
Hindi siya. I'll reserve my next question.
Thank you,
Mr. Chair.
Senator Erwin. Senator Bam, is recognized.
Maraming salamat, Mr. Chairman. Unang-una po, let me premise by saying that in the previous campaign this year, sa lahat po na naikutan ko, local chamber, Philippine chamber, Chinese chamber, ito man ay sa probinsya o dito po sa syudad, grabe po talaga ang complaints ng mga negosyante pagdating sa BIR at sa LOA. No? Paulit-ulit po yan. Yung mga LOA, yung mga assessment, walang basihan, or kung masyado mang mataas, ginagawang mataas para lang po mag-settle. No? So yun po, paulit-ulit yan. And I'd like to commend Senators Tulfo and Ejercito for taking on this issue. We'd also like to commend the new commissioner and the new secretary for taking this issue head-on. Pero gaya po na nakita natin sa DPWH, kapag pupunta po tayo dito, talagang posibleng marami ho tayong ma-uncover. No? At una pa lang ito, Mr. Chairman, if I'm not mistaken, unang hearing pa lang ito. So let me ask questions first with regard to policy, no? Ilang LOA po ang naibigay for 2023, 2024 and 2025? I understand na kukonti lang naman ang natatamaang taxpayer. But how many LOAs were actually meted out, no? Commissioner Mendoza or former Commissioner Lumagi, baka may mga stats po kayo or Secretary Go?
Yes, Mr. Chair. For 2023, a total of 62,462 letters of authority were issued. In 2024, 75,510. And from January to October of this year, a total of 82,145, Mr. Chair.
Are these LOAs protected by any privacy rules or are these public data?
Yeah. We cannot divulge on the particular taxpayer information.
Why not?
Under the unlawful divulgence rule of National Internal Revenue Code. Meron ho kasi tayong provision sa National Internal Revenue Code na certain information involving taxpayers cannot be divulged by the Bureau of
But
Internal Revenue.
Mr. Chairman, am I correct that this information can be provided to the committee in an executive session? So,
Yes,
ganito po, Commissioner. Yung sinasabi po ni...
Senator Bam, just to address that particular issue, no? Baka pwedeng redacted na lang.
Yes.
Public hearing, redacted na lang natin yung mga dapat na hindi ipakita sa public.
No,
Pwede ba yun?
Yeah.
Information that are, sensitive or confidential, takpan na lang natin.
Yes, Mr.
Salit
Chair.
na papasok pa tayo, mag-executive session pa tayo. Baka pwedeng ganun
Yung
lang.
pangalan po ba ng kumpanya, is that already protected by secrecy?
That's covered, Mr.
It
Chair.
is, okay.
Opo.
So ito po yung intention ko eh. So unang-una, yung nabanggit ni former Commissioner Henares kanina, kung may natanggap na LOA na wala naman sa listahang ito, hindi yun totoong LOA. No? May nagsascam sa inyo. And these fake LOAs might actually come from officials of BIR. No? Aminin na po natin. So unang-una, kung transparent po tayo, makikita natin kaagad kung totoong LOA ba to o hindi. No? That's my intention, kaya dapat tong mailabas sana. So people can check kung itong LOA ba nito ay talagang valid o hindi. Pangalawa, baka po kayo na po ang mag-analyze, ma-analyze natin kung merong nire-repeat na ino-audit kada taon. Sabi nga po ni Commissioner Henares, kung kada taon pare-pareho ang ino-audit, posibleng may red flag po doon. Are you already doing an analysis on the past 3, 4, 5 years, 6 years worth of data, Mr. Commissioner?
Yes, part po ng trabaho meron po tayong ginawang technical working group that will propose recommendations on our audit processes. At kasama po ito sa tinitingnan nila.
Sige, and we would suggest that maybe the committee might also take a look at this to provide its own analysis, di ba? Isang tanong, kunyari, ano po sa mga lugar po sa ating bansa ang pinakamaraming LOA na ini-issue? These are questions that we can, when answered, can help us find out more, di ba? Pero siguro po, kasi alam ko sila, Senator JV and Senator Erwin, humihingi ng LOA, kwentong LOA, and I know that many in the business sector are hesitant to come out. But if we had this level of transparency, Mr. Commissioner, palagay ko, baka po maraming mahikayat na maglabas rin ng kanilang kwento pagdating po sa panggigipit o pagdating po sa pangingikil, no? Sige po, do you have that data? Which area issued the most LOA?
We have the most number of LOAs from these revenue regions, Mr. Chair. Manila, Caloocan City, Quezon City, South NCR, Makati City.
And probably because mas maraming negosyo dito
Yes,
po sa Metro Manila. Okay. Ano po
Interjection.
yung... Yes,
Interjection,
SP.
Senator Aquino. Mr. Chairman, with your permission. Kasi binanggit mo yung they can check. You can check kung yung LOA ay nasa listahan, tama, nasa system, di ba? Paano kung yung businessman, hindi ba pwedeng yung business owner pwedeng ma-check niya kung yung LOA ay nandoon sa system?
I don't think kung may access ang external stakeholders po doon sa system. But meron po kaming system, yung ELAMS, kasi ang mga LOAs naman po natin are electronically generated.
Oh,
So
pero,
meron po
di ba,
tayong system na
para ma-check ninyo na kung nasa system.
kami po malalaman po namin.
Correct. Kayo.
Pag meron hong taxpayer na nagdududa kung yung ba talagang tinanggap niya na letter of authority ay authentic or talagang official, po pwede ho silang pumunta sa opisina namin at
That'll take
i-check
time.
namin.
That'll take time. Naipit na sila. Bago makarating sa inyo ang reklamo, hindi natin alam kung malapit sa inyo o hindi malapit sa UIR o baka yung may kinalaman din yung pagtatanungan niya. Diba? So, meron tayong kasabihan an ounce of prevention is a pound of cure. Beats a pound of cure. Prevention yun. Kung meron kayong system, pag-aralan nyo na maglagay ng system na pwedeng i-check ng business owner kung totoo yung LOA.
Yes.
Imbis na, malaking matulong nun siguro. Senator Aquino, thank you.
Thank you.
Commissioner, nabanggit niyo po kanina, lahat ng LOA moving forward may approval po ninyo.
O yan po ang plano natin na before the LOA is issued, it has to be cleared first by the national office.
Okay, meaning kung meron pong LOA na may issue na meron pong fraud o meron pong corruption, you are taking this on and you will be responsible for that process.